So hello guys, so what we are going to do today is file upload. So how can you be able to upload file? So now for you to be able to upload file, first of all there are certain things that you need to know. Okay, so let's follow them step by step. So I'll start by, like I said before, when we started HTML, so that you can be able to do what, write your HTML and your CSS inside of the same page. But in this time around, I'll be creating a separate page. Last time when we did our calculator, I wrote everything in the same page. So this time around, I'm going to create a separate page for the backend code and a separate page for the front end code. So this, like I said, you can be able to write what HTML code instead of what the PHP. So whenever you're writing PHP, make sure that you're writing it with .php. So it has to be in a .php file. So here, what I want to write is an HTML. So HTML code. So what I will create here is a form. So I'll create a form for uploading. So a form that I can use to do what, upload our file. So now, okay, let me use this prediction. So okay, I don't really need this. So now another thing, I just want, if I let me copy part, minimize this. So minimize this and put it side by side with my, so we use this as a, so bring this down. So now let me minimize this. Now I'll copy part, so paste it here. So remove the local host, put in my local host. So this is what I have. So when I click on this, it's going to give me access to my file. So I can just come here. Let's say it's picture that I want to, let's upload only file picture for now. So let's say it's picture that I want to upload. You can click it, it's going to appear here. Then you can be able to do what, click on your submit. So now what I will do is I'm going to use, let me just, so like what you're doing now is not styling, we're just trying to make a file work, but let me just try to make this look a little bit nicer. So let me just put my style open my style sheet there. So style, so for the, give this, anyway, let me do it like this. Let me call the form, since that's what I have here. So form curly braces, so give it a width of, so a width of 400 px. So give it a height of, so the same, so a height of let me give it 300 px. So let me give it a border radius of 50 px. So let me give it a background color, so background color of, so let me call the body of this, so body So okay, let me use this style. So display flex, align justify, so I to be able to center this. So this is it. Let me also add the padding. Okay, same thing. Let me use the same style here. Let me use the same display flex and align it to the center here. Yes. So nice. So I can be able to click on this, change the background color. I'll stop making it white. Okay. Let me just make it just like this. So I can be able to, when you click on your file, like I say, you just, all these things we are doing here is, oh, so select your file, then you can be able to click on submit. So now this is the time we are going to make this work. So now, how do we make it work? So but before we do that, I'm going to create another page. So I'll call that page a success page. So always take note, call it a success.php. So I want to make sure that I'm done with every style that I'm supposed to do. So when I come here, I'm just going to use my HTML, and this success page is where, so if we upload a file now to a particular place, we need this to show us that success, that we just did what we just did is, let it take us to a page that we just that we have already successfully uploaded a file. So what I'm going to write here is I'm going to create a p tag. So I'm going to write success. Okay, let's say image upload. Successful. So I'm going to also copy the path for this page. So copy path, or anyway, now there's, so now this, and there's another cool way to go there. Let me just come here and write that file that I just created now. I just created a success, so success.php. So enter there. So this is what I just created. Then let me just add a little bit of style there. So style, so call a p tag. So I'm going to give okay, so I'm going to give it color. So color of the text should be green. Why do I feel like I'm making a mistake? Okay, let's just say color of the text should be green. So let me give it width. So let me just give this a width of 60%. So flex, so let's use our flex and display flex, sorry, display flex. So I have it. So display flex, I'm just bringing the style here. display flex align to the center, so it will be able to align it to the center perfectly. So okay, and I don't really need this. Okay, let me change this color to something green. So refresh. So this is what I get. So give this a height. So a height of 100 dx, and there. So border. So border, I'm just going to give you 1.1 px solid, or let's say dotted. So dotted, and the color is going to be green. So I'm going to move this to the center. So I'm going to call the body. Curly braces. So I'm just okay. So I'm going to give it a width. Doesn't necessarily mean okay. Let me just give it a width of 100%. Let me give it this to center it for us. So this to center it. Okay, now the moment we click, I think it's going to, if it directs us to this place, say successful. So I think that's what I want. So when I click, so it will just direct me to this place. So that's just it. So when I click, I'm expecting it to direct me to this place, screaming successful. So I'm just going to go back to that file upload that we had. So file upload. So back to this place. So now let's go back to the file upload. So I'm going to close this success page. I'm going to go back to this place. So now let's come here and so now, since we remember what you are going to do, since we are going to create a separate page. So we're going to create a separate page. So this is the only page here we have here. Our success page, that if it takes us to this success page that we had done, but we should not bother about it now. So let's go and create a page where our backend code will be written inside. So I will say file backend dot php. I think this is better. So let me, I already have it here. So minimize this. File backend dot php. So in my action, in this action, you make sure you write that file backend, because that's where you want it to be going to. So file. So you want to direct, whenever the user click on this, it will send the code to the backend, to this backend file to be processed. So now next thing we need to write is your method. Always important, so never forget to put your method. So you can use get, but since we are using I'm just going to use post. So post. So now, since we are uploading file, so whenever you're uploading file, there's what we need to pass here. We need to pass what? The end type, multi-part, m type, multi-part form data. So this is what we need to pass here. So to tell that we are doing what? Uploading file. Whether you're doing uploading profile picture or any stuff, never it's first is file. Always make sure you have that your multi-part form data. So now next thing I'm going to do again is let's create this. Okay, we already have a submit and we have the submit name. Okay, so file name. So always take note of these two because we need them in our backend. So now let me go to the backend. So what I'll do is I'll open my PHP question mark PHP. So let's be sure that this is submitting to the backend file. When I click, all right. Okay, let's write something first. So since I'm only going to be writing PHP code, I don't really need to close it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write I'm going to say if write a statement. I'll say if is set. So if is set, that is meaning if you click on what global post submit. So remember the reason why we're using post here is because the reason why we're using global post is because the method we're using here is post. If you are using get here, you're going to use what? Global get here. So that's as simple as that. So you're using the global post to do what? Grab data from the form. So here we're going to say if global post so if global post file submit. So submit. So if global post submit is set, so that's what we're trying to say. If somebody have already clicked on it. So another thing, you can just say if global submit is set, and probably you can also say and not empty. That one is your choice, but still does not let me write that, and not empty, and global post submit is not what? Empty. So not empty, that you want it to do. So now if you meet this condition, so if it is if they have clicked on it and it's not empty, meaning this is just a way of saying when you click on a particular button. So if global submit is clicked on, whatever is inside of this code should do what? Happen. So what we are going to do is we are going to grab this file. So I told you that we use since we are using global post method, we are using the method post here. So whatever file here, if it is first name, if it is last name or middle name, whatever is inside of this file, you do what? You grab it. You grab it with what? The global post. Except when it comes to what? File. Except when you call for any other thing, whether your submit, whether your username, whether your input, any other stuff, you can do what? Grab it with what? The global post. But when it comes to file, you already have what? A global file to do what? Grab that that input field. So here I'm going to say global post file. I'm going to pass block. So I'm going to put I'm going to say what's the name we give our file. So the name we give is file name. So I'm just going to come here and say global post file name. Make sure you remember it's case sensitive. So let me close this. Let's echo. So what I'll tell you to do, what I'll tell you to print it. So let me assign this instead of what? A variable. Okay, so let me assign it to a variable file. So let's say print out, because what is supposed to, when we send data, whenever anytime you send files, the file comes in an array. That's one thing you have to understand. Whether in this programming language or in any programming language, files are being sent as arrays. So meaning that they have different values that makes up what a particular file. So now, since we are dealing with what we are going to deal with today is images. So if you are sending an image, always know that image is being sent as an array. So whenever we are trying to print output it, so what I want to do is that when I click submit, when it goes to this file upload page, to this backend page, I want to upload the file, so I will show you how far it's being sent. So let me print R. So because it, like I say, it's being sent as an array, I'm going to say variable file, close this. So when I refresh, so when I select on a file, it doesn't matter the file you select on. So open, this is it, then click on submit. So this is it. So what I just did now is I have just outputted it. Now you can see now that the way it outputted it, showing you that it is what, an array. Now let me expand this so you can be able to see it. So it's telling you array, then this is the name of the array. So the array key, so you can see that it sends data as an associative array. So the array key name, then the actual name of what, that file. Now we have the file full part. Now we also have the type. Here you're telling it is what, image. It's telling you that it's an image, and the type is also a JPEG file. So we have the temporary name, just like a temporary location. So this is just like a temporary location where file is being stored before it's being sent to wherever you want to send it to. So this is the part where it's being stored. And another thing again you have to know is we have the success rate. So to this point, showing you that what this file upload was successful, there was no error uploading this file. So now this one is what, the size of the file. So now all these things I'm just going line by line showing you is very, very important, especially now we are, even as we're going to use it now. The name is important, the type, the temporary name, and the error and size. So take note about it. Take note. So I'm going to use this. So like I said, these are all what, this is just the way the file is being sent. Same thing with your video, same thing with your audio. This is just the way it's being sent. So now I will go back to our code base. We are going to, like I said, we're going to use name. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the code base. So we are going to use this name. So we just uploaded one file. So this is a main file that we uploaded. The one that is in this side is a file. But what we want to use is this content. To use it to do what, perform logic. These they are keys. So we are going to use these keys to do what, perform a logic. What should happen whenever a file is being uploaded. So when I come back to my page, I'm going to say, okay, what I'll do first of all is let's use this file. Now there are two ways of doing what, grabbing these keys. So there are two ways of grabbing these keys. So one way you can do is you can just still use this your long part like this. You remember the way you call an array. So when we did array, so you say array, then you do or put another block, then you call what, you call the particular stuff you want to call. So if it is this one I want to call, just like this, it's already waiting for you. Just if you want to call it, just showing that this is an array, just like this. So but the difference is that you need your double quote inside. So this is one way to call it. Now which one is the second way to call it? You can just use this variable that we did what, assign the value to. So the reason why I assign the value is so to minimize the code that we're going to write. So you can do it like this, and I'm going to copy this. So these are the two ways of doing what, grabbing the data. You see that this one is longer while this one is shorter. So I'm going to comment on this. I don't really need to use this because it's longer. And also another thing again is, so I'm going to comment on this. The only thing I needed it for is just to upload the file, show you how the file is being sent. So I just don't need it in my logic, so I'll comment on it. I'm leaving it there, so if you want to check it, check it. So like I said again, the keys that we need the name, we need the full, okay, we don't need the full part, we need the type, so we need the temper. Okay, let me be writing it as faster, so let me be writing it one by one. So and make sure you're closing it with this. So make sure you know it's on array. You need to passport that file there. So close this. So we also need what, the temporary location. This is the temporary location. So why I'm copying it, so you'll be able to see it. If you not do it like that, so Control V, paste it. Well, let me use single quote since I'm using single quote or two. So the next one we need is to check the error. So I'm going to bring the error. So like I said, all these things that we are writing here are very, very, very important. So whenever you want to use perform logic to do what, validate a particular form. So this is all we need now. So now what we are going to do is that we cannot use so yeah, I'm going to come back to this. I think let me use it that way. So we cannot use it like this. So that's, we're going to do what, assign it inside what, variable. So this make this prediction. If you don't know what I'm using that's predicting for me, is tab 9. So it's just an AI that usually predicts. Tab 9 AI, it helps you predict stuff. So you can just go to your extension. If you have, go to your VS Code, go to your extension, you can just tab 9. So you tap tab 9, it will help, you can install it. So it will help you in case, most time whenever you want to correct your code, it just works more. It also works like a ChatGPT. So if you have an error even in your code, you can just come inside of this place and paste, ask any question you want to ask. You can just ask it here. It will just help you out. So let me minimize this. So now next thing we're going to do is, let's talk about file that we are going to allow. So you remember, like I said, why we assign a variable, so we cannot be able to use, so we are not going to be using this one, so we can be able to use only the variable. Now let me explain what these things are. This is the name of the file, the type of file that you're being sent. This is the location, temporary location. This is what, an error, the error, if there was an error uploading the file. So it's either 1 or 0. So if there was 1, meaning that there was an error uploading the file. If it's 0, meaning that there's no error uploading the file. And this last one is what, the file size. So now let's create a variable called variable allow. So let's say allowed. I'm going to create an array. So inside of this array, we are going to pass in data, the different kinds of file format. Like I said, when we did the HTML, we talked about file format. So the different file formats. So the different, that is a type, the different file formats that we want to accept inside of this our page. So the different formats we have the PNG, so we have the JPG, we have the JPEG, so we also have the let's put GIF. So the thing is that even if I put MP4, it's going to accept MP4. Just be careful that you are all writing an image format. So think BMP. I've not seen BMP before, so let me just use PDF. So PDF. So PDF. So I'm going. Let me just anyway for you. You can if you want to change it, you can add more. If you know other different file format, you can just add them there. So I'm just writing it like this. So now, first thing first we are going to do is we are going to get, let's start performing logic. So we are going to perform a logic that do what. Now if you look at this thing now, it shows you something now. It shows you that anytime a file is being sent, the name of the file is always attached to what, the extension of that file. So how can we be able to do what, get only this what extension, so that we can use it and work on it. So we are going to find a way to split this thing into two, so that this one will go its own way, this will go its own way, so that we can be able to use only the whatever is going to appear as a extension. So we are going to say file name. So we're going to use a keyword called what, explode. So explode. The first thing you need to pass it, you pass what, where do you want to explode it from. So where do you want to explode it from? So I'll say I want to explode it this place where I have what, dot. So I'll say anywhere I have dot instead of that name, explode it there. Then what we're going to pass here is what, comma. We're going to pass name, file name. So this is what we want to explode. So we want to explode this name. Anytime this name come, we want it to explode. So now, so if this file now explodes it, meaning now what we have now is now what, two stuff. One is this, the name. Two is what, the extension. So since the main thing we care about is what, the extension, not the name, so I'm going to assign this into what, a file. So I'm going to say so equals to, let me call a variable, let me say file extension, because that's what it is now, file ext. So cd, so file ext. So but it's not enough. So it's not enough. Now if you see, this is predicting for us, so it's not enough. Let me use this. So this is correct. So it's not enough. Now this line, now what we are doing here is that this file extension here, we want it to do what, if you look, notice most time when a file image is coming, they usually come in capital letter. This extension usually come in capital letter or in small letter. So we don't want the file that is coming to enter into our code as what, capital letter, because if you look here, the one we want to allow are all in what, small letters. All the files we are trying to allow are all in the small letters. So since it's being written in small letter, it will create an error to accept what, a file that is in what, capital letter. So what we want to do is what, we want to convert that file to what, to lowercase. So we want to convert that to what, lowercase. So now, but remember, instead of the file extension, there are two things that is there. The name of the file that we have already exploded it. That means there is two things: the name of the file and what, the extension. The name of the file is the first thing. The extension is what, the last thing. So there is a keyword called what, end. There's an inbuilt function called what, end. It's used to grab what is at the end of what particular file. So we're using this end to do what, grab the last word, the last one, which is what, the extension. So we are doing that, and we are passing it into what, into a new variable. So in case I didn't explain it, this is string to lower, which converts what, file to what, lower case. So now let's perform a logic. So we're going to write our logic, and we're going to say if So if in array, so we're going to use in array. So now what is this in array function? So we are saying if in this array of allow, okay, so if in this array of allowed, so if anything inside of this array that comes in inside of the array of allowed is the same, let me use double equals to, is the same as what is in our file new extension. So if anything in that array is what in this name of our file, means that this file new extension is whatever is coming from our file. You know, like I said, this one I've done the job of doing what bringing whatever is coming, whatever file that is coming, we have already converted it to what, we have exploded it, we have changed it into what, lowercase, and that's what we just did. So that's what we have here. So if the extension that is in lowercase is the same as what is in our, the one that we are trying to allow, we should do what, print what, continue. So else continue. So else we are going to put an error message. Why am I getting an error here? Okay, I think it's like this. So I think it's something like this. I'm making a mistake. Okay, yeah, it's like this, but I was making a mistake. So the file extension is going to be the last thing. So looking at this, so this is how you write it. The array becomes the last one, variable array. So it is like this. So this file extension, so this in array does what, compares. So it compares whatever is here to whatever is coming inside of here. So we don't really need to go and put that equal sign again. So I think this is just how we need it. So now what you're going to do is that, so if this if it have checked it, what we want it to do, what it means, if it is the same thing, we should do a continue. If it is not the same thing, do what, print what, file format. So, or the file format not allowed, whatever you want to write, file format not allowed. I think the format I'm talking about is the one without so not supported. So close it. So let's continue. So let's check for size. So we need to also check for size. We're going to write condition. So we have write the first if statement. So we're going to write, instead of this else, we're going to write another if statement again. So we're going to say if. So we're going to write an if statement. So we're going to check for the size. So we're going to say if the size of this thing. So if the size is what? So if the size is less than, so let's give it a particular number of bytes. So let me use, I think this is let me just think this is what is this, 2 bytes? how many? So I think this is 1000. So 500,000. This is a 5 kilobyte, right? Okay, no. Let me see. Let me go to Google and be sure. What's wrong with this? Let me change. Let me go to Google. So to byte. Let me see. Megabyte. Okay, no. This is not what I'm supposed to even be calculating. So yeah, 500 kilobytes. This is how it is. So 500. This is 500 kilobytes. Yeah. So so normal files that we usually send are usually, I think it's going to be bigger than, most time they are bigger than 500 kilobytes. So I think I've seen one that is up to 2 MB and so on. So I'm going to add, let's say, add additional 0. When do we get to MB? So let me go to megabyte. So let's see, this is 50 megabytes. This is so this is 5 megabytes. So this is, that is 5 million for 5 megabytes. Yeah. So let me use 5 million megabytes. Let me go back there. So we're going to go back. So I'm going to check if what we have there is up to what, 5 million bytes, which is 5 MB. So if our file size is less than 5 MB, do what? Continue. Else, so else do what? So file to print file too large. So now we still need to write more condition. So we're going to check if there was an error uploading this file. So we're going to say if there was an error. So if there was an error uploading the file, so I'm going to write another if statement. So put my else. So okay. So else curly braces. So if there was an error, so if there was an error, so yeah, I'm going to say if file error. So remember, whenever a file error appear, if you send a file and it comes in 0, you know that there was no error. So if the addition is equals to, if whatever comes there is equals to what, 0, means that there's no what, error. So else they'll print what, print there was an error. Okay, they're giving us warning. So print there was, so there was an error. uploading the file. So now next thing we're going to do again is we're going to see so I think we need to change. Let me see, I think I have a file uploaded here. I want to check something. So we need to okay, so now what we need to do is we need to create this file that we are sending now. We need it to, when it entering the place we want to send it, we want it to enter there as what, a very unique, you know, somebody can upload a file that is called John. Another person can upload a file that is called what, John too. So what happens when two people comes upload the same file that is called John into a particular database? What should happen? So sometimes there may be an error in the database. It may not even accept that person's own. So what we're going to do, we're going to create, we're going to make it unique. But first of all, before making it unique, we need to even, you know, we did not connect this to the database. So and we have not done database. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a folder to act as our database. So we'll call this what, database. So my icon is actually making it look nice. So database. So it's just where our file, anything we upload we enter. See, it's just empty. So if I come back here and there is something, you know that we perfectly what uploaded something to the database. So now what we are going to go back. So in order to make our file unique, so what we're going to do is that we're going to say we're going to use what we call the unique ID. There's a command called the unique ID, and the way it works is think like this. Let me see. Let me sure. Yeah. So unique ID. This is how you write it, comma, then true. So now we want to attach it to what, our file what, extension. So this file new extension, we need to attach it with what, this unique ID to make the name what, unique. So now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assign it into, since we have made it unique, we're going to assign it to what, a new variable. So since the file have come to this point, we're going to call it file unique. Let me just put it unique. So let me just call it unique. So next thing we need to do is now assign it to into that database. So we need to assign it into our database. So now to assign it to our database, and this is the way we're going to assign it into a folder database. So what we're going to do is we are going to call what, so we're going to do it like this. So we are going to say database. So the database okay, then you say your variable file unique. So file unique. So I think we're going to put our, it's not it. Am I making a mistake here? Let me see what I wrote here. Okay. Yeah. So file unique. So with this now we just did what, assign this file to what, the database. So actually what we did there is that we just created a place where our database will work. That's what we just did here. So we'll call it this file. We're going to assign this into a new variable called what, file destination. So destination, yeah, I'm just writing it in there. So file destination. So so now we are going to use a final this thing now. So you see, all this thing we did here was just, like I say, creating a place where the database. So we have made it that whatever is sent inside of the database now, we will any file that is sent inside of the database will do what, have a unique ID. This thing is just a number, the unique time sequence that is going to be attached to what, that file extension. So we are attaching it to the file extension. Also, another thing we are going to do again, we are adding again, is that so anyway, let's do something here. We're going to put an underscore here. So this underscore will show what, the unique ID. So in case when we upload it, we'll know the difference between the unique ID and what, our file extension. So whenever it comes inside of our file will do what, have what, this unique ID attached to it. I will show you. So here again, what we're doing here is what, we are creating the database. We are now assigning it to the database. So whatever file that comes here, we just from a add and then add to our database. So now we use the final command to move uploaded file to what, the database. So we want to move the uploaded file. So how does this work? So okay, move it from to. So we want to move uploaded file. So move uploaded file from here to our file destination where we have prepared for it. So this is, I think this is the final thing. So if this is done, so we need to we now need to redirect these people now to what, in that our success page that we created. So we are going to use what, the header. This is what we're going to use, the header, not this. So we're going to use header. So we're going to call it what, success dot what. So because our page is what, header, then we have what, location. So this is how it works, header, location, success, our success dot what, PHP. So this is how you do it. So now what you do now, if you upload file, it's supposed to take us there, or let's just an error. Let's try this. So let me go to let me come here. So let me choose a file. Oh, there's an error on line 11. So there's an error. Undefine a variable file. Undefine variable file in line 11. Oh, undefined variable file. Let's resubmit. Success. Sorry. So I was, the mistake I made was I created this file. I went and commented on it. The only thing I was supposed to comment on it was this one. So this is it. So now let's go and check inside of the database. Now you see that there's something inside of the database. It didn't even get in there. Did I make a mistake by database? Let's try to upload this file again. What's wrong? Let me see. Okay. You didn't move it to the destination. Am I writing something wrong here? Let me check on something I wrote before. Okay, I don't think I can see my error there. I'll go into the database. Okay, let me go back. Let me see what I would do. So unique file extension. Oh, okay, I think I'm making a mistake here. Let me put a dot here. Move this. I think that is the problem I have. Let me see. Let me refresh. Let me see again. Choose the file. Open. Success. So let's see it here. Still having the problem. So oh, sorry, I made a mistake. What I was doing was I made a mistake. I was supposed to move the file from a temporary location, not from the file name. So the temporary location is where we are moving the file. So we move the file from the temporary location to your final destination, not from the file name. I was moving file name, not it's supposed to be temporary location. So when I go there, I believe it's supposed to work now. So it's supposed to work now. So let me see. So this is it. It's working now. So you can see now. You can see the hyphen. You see now. This is now what a unique ID. So you look at the unique ID here. This one here. So it's in dot. So I think that is it for our file upload. I'm going to post this for you to check. So I'm going to post you everything so you will see it. So but is there any if you have any question you can ask it, because I think our time is coming to an end to give us under a minute. So you can post any question you have. You can post it online. Let me help you out. Or you can just do a voice recording. Just use a voice recording and send it. Very soon I will class with this and just
Okay, sir.
all right.